Today on DNVR Buffs Live, checking in with the coordinators. Robert Livingston, Pat Shurmur spoke to the media today. Is Colorado's superpower just beginning to emerge? We'll talk about that, what we learned from the coordinators, and the Big 12 absolutely cooks Brett Venables. Here we go. Buff Nation
Squad
coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Is DNVR Buffs Live in the middle of the first bye week of the year. Time to reset, recalibrate, and the Bears just got a big win.
Bear down, boys and girls, everybody out there. It's that time of the year, bro. Bears are rolling.
You got a little
3
pep
in
in
a
your
row.
step today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Woke up with a little something extra in my step. So shout out to Ben Johnson, man. Caleb Williams. That boy DeAndre Swift, the Bears
He's a
defense. And
dog.
shout out to Jaden Daniels for dropping that football late in that game. My boy. We salute you.
Shout out to Connor for becoming a member too. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Connor. Let's go. How we feeling, brother? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Just all right?
Just all right. End of conversation. Anyways. Yeah, today we're going to really just dig into the press conferences.
Hell yeah,
Talk
Doyle.
about what we learned from the coordinators. Yeah, the Big 12 buried Brett Venables on Twitter.
They had time today.
They did have time today. The Matt Rule team for Penn State, it's getting a little interesting too.
I think some water was poured on it today.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But I don't know. I learned a little bit more about the connections between Penn State and Matt Rule and the AD, and it's I don't know, man.
Well, I saw a clip yesterday when obviously Rule was asked about it at his weekly presser.
Yep.
And, they were just like, Coach, what are your thoughts on the Penn State opening? And he went on like a 3-minute monologue. And you watch the same video, and it looked like he was about to cry, bro.
Because he loves Penn State.
He really loves Penn. Like, he almost had like tears. Like, it was making him emotional talking about Penn State.
Yeah.
He was like, it's where I met my wife. And we obviously talked about yesterday, like he played football there, obviously, back in the day.
The AD at Penn State now is the AD that hired him at Temple.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of dots being connected. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
If that happens, we're going to have an all-time receipt street day. It's going to be, it might be the whole show. It might just be an hour.
No, for real.
All right. Let's get into pressers today. Again, yeah, we talked to both of them. And here's both of them kind of talking on the bye week, what the goals are for the bye week, what they're trying to achieve this week. And bye weeks aren't as long as, we think. It may be a week long in terms of the calendar, but when we hear what Coach Rob says about it, I mean, he's quickly turning the page onto Utah here very shortly.
Yeah.
So
Got to.
Here's what Pat and Rob had to say about what they need to do this bye week.
I have an agenda for winning each day, so today, and then you see what you're faced with. Typically in the bye week, you go back and kind of self-scout the things that you've done to this point, which I'm doing in the afternoons. You're also working with the players and getting their work in, which is important. So we're moving forward with a couple new concepts out here in the practice setting.
Yeah, the first part of the week starts with us. So put the last game to bed and then just get as much as you can on the self-scout. The things we're seeing consistently in the run game, in the pass game, situationally, it's been good as well. Going through all the third downs and We've had a couple 2 minutes this year, so you know what people are attacking, what we're playing. And then you'll take that hat off tomorrow, and you'll put the Utah hat on and go to work that way. So just try to make the most of it. It's great to get the guys, some young guys, opportunities to play and to practice and do those things. And we'll get through the rest of the week and get ready for Utah next week.
So, I mean, that's what it is. It's a lot of self-scouting, a lot of self-reflection, going back and finally, with a fine-tooth comb, kind of taking a look at, some pivotal moments in games that maybe didn't go your way. Maybe they did, and you look at exactly why that happened. But they're trying to turn the page to Utah pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to. This team is really playing well right now. They won by, 31 or 30-ish points last week over ASU. So, we'll see if we get a very, very prepared team in Salt Lake next weekend. I hope
doubt. So do I. You got to, because like I said, that's a challenge. Not only because it's a good football team out there in Utah, but that's one of the toughest road environments to play in college football out there in Salt Lake City, especially with the game being at night. Like, that place is going to be rocking. The bye presents a real challenge, right? A lot of people think like, oh, it's the bye week, like thing you look forward to, like it's the time off, it's a time to relax. No, like you got to be just as locked in on the bye week as you would on a typical week of preparation. And last year, this team went into the bye after a massive win over UCF, had the bye week, and then come out of it, played all right against Kansas State, but obviously you lose that game. You handled the bye week kind of better later in the year after the after the Cincinnati game. You had Texas Tech after the bye and obviously handled business there. But even in that one, in the Texas Tech game, if you remember, they started out slow.
Yeah, they did.
I think they were down for sure 7-0. Maybe
it might have been 10 plus.
I think it might have been like 10-13-0. They were down early in that game as well. So it's going to be a challenge for this team to fight off the excitement of last week, right? And to, like I think Coach Livingston said right there, just to turn the page and realize that what we did last week was awesome and what we have been kind of waiting on, but we got to replicate the process again. And whatever we did last week to earn a win, we got to do more this week, because I think Utah is a better team than Iowa State at this point of the year as well. And obviously we talked about yesterday, Utah does have the holy war against their biggest rival this weekend.
Big.
Which is massive.
Yeah.
And they're going to be emotionally spent, I believe, coming out of that game, heading into next week's matchup with Colorado. So whichever one of these teams, I think, starts fast next week, because it's going to be a challenge for both of them for different reasons.
Sure.
I think that's going to be a big indicator of who ends up winning that game.
Well said. I mean, I was basically going to say the same thing. I mean, right now it's kind of like, yeah, you got to do your self-scouting and all that stuff. But after that, it's kind of like free time to gain just whatever you can on Utah, because they're clearly locked in. They have a game on Saturday against a hated rival. Like, all their attention, they're not spending any time on Colorado yet. So you're going to have basically 4 days on them, plus maybe, to get, just your extra looks in, maybe drop an extra couple of plays, figure out a rotation or whatever it is. So, I mean, clearly we'll be tuned into that Utah game. We'll learn a lot this Saturday, but I don't know if you could have really timed this bye week almost any better. I mean, maybe slightly earlier before things really, you hit that losing streak. But at this point, I mean, you just got to keep looking ahead. And Utah's next on the schedule, and they're obviously going to be a tough challenge, and you just got extra time. Got to take advantage.
No doubt about it.
Let's go to Pat Shurmur and Caden Salter. I mean, clearly Caden's been a big topic this season so far for multiple reasons, but we think he kind of turned a corner last Saturday. By far his best game as a Buff. And so here's Pat Shurmur talking about, how Caden's improved his play and really their relationship on and off the field and how that's gone over the last 10 months or so.
He's getting better. I think he's making more plays and being involved in less bad plays. I think that points to consistency. And as he's no different than the guys up front or the receiving core or the running backs or the tight ends. You just have to keep practicing to get better at what you're doing. And he's working hard at things, and I think it's showing up in the games. It's a good relationship. I think we're getting to know each other. And I feel that way sometimes. Yeah, I mean, we're getting to know each other as we go here. The recruiting processes are quick sometimes, and so but it's good, and I think we're on our journey and getting to know each other better, and I can give him more things that I know he's good at, and I think that'll help us.
I mean, he's clearly confident in him at this point. I don't know how confident he would have been before the season, but that just sounds like a play caller and offensive coordinator who does trust their quarterback right now and is excited to build upon what they've already done to this point.
No doubt about it. I mean, obviously last week, Saturday, winning that big game against Iowa State was a step in the right direction, particularly for the offense, which has struggled. Just really to find consistency. They haven't struggled, I think, to show what they're capable of in spurts, but it's been the lack of consistency that has just been so frustrating with this offense, particularly in the second half of games. And for this offense to come out in the second half against Iowa State, the top 25 team, and score 17 in the second half, that's massive. And that's kind of what you need moving forward. And I'm just so fascinated to see whether last week was a one-off or whether last week was Pat Shurmur, Caden Salter, and his offense truly turning a corner. Because the 39 rush attempts to the 25 pass attempts, chef's kiss. That is what this offense needs to be about. That's what the identity of this offense needs to be. No matter who's healthy at running back at this point. As long as you got one able body who can tote the rock behind this offensive line and you can get creative with it, like that's what it needs to be. And everything that Caden does needs to kind of, play off of that, whether it be the play action, whether it be Caden, escaping or using his legs in zone read, power read stuff as well. So that's really what I'm looking forward to next week when Colorado retakes the field. Are we going to see the offense that we saw in the second half against Iowa State, or are we going to see the offense that we saw in the second half against TCU and BYU, which was stifling and stuck in the mud? So that obviously falls on the play caller and certainly on the quarterback as well. He has to be consistent. And the thing that Coach Shurmur said at the beginning there, he's making more plays, making more good plays, and making less bad plays. And how I read that is he's not turning the ball over, which he didn't do at least on Saturday, something he did do the previous 2 weeks. And he's just making more plays out of structure, I think, too, which is something obviously Coach Prime has talked about. He mentioned that you got to make 2-3 plays to play quarterback for me and be successful at it. And I think that's obviously something that comes natural to Caden. And I think earlier in the year, he was just fighting himself. And a lot of the times I think he was just making the wrong decision in the moment of, should I play in structure here or should I take off and run? And I think on Saturday, he just found more of a balance with that because he can certainly do both at a high level. It's just about picking your spots and doing the right thing in the right moment.
I mean, if I had the opportunity, I would have loved to ask Pat Shurmur if that 3rd and long that they called the play for, where he dropped back and threw it to Joseph Williams to win the game, if that would have, inspired more confidence in some of those tight yardage situations. We talked a lot about 4th down yesterday.
Yes, we did.
But whether or not that play was kind of a sign of growth of Caden too, or a sign of trust, right?
For sure.
Would have been great to ask that question. But anyways, it is what it is. And, I think we've seen a more confident Caden Salter moving forward here. And Jennifer wrote in the chat too, like he had all summer to learn Caden Salter. I mean, yes, sure. But like, it's a different age, man. It's a different time with the transfer portal and how all this stuff is going on right now. I mean, you're not allowed to be on the field when the guys are practicing when it's not official practices. You know what I mean? So Pat can't be around Caden, when he's going through that work on his own in the off season or in the spring and all that. So a lot of it is in the meeting rooms. And yeah, of course, you're going to have conversations to actually get to know guys then. But to learn the football player more so, that's going to happen, throughout the year, and especially for a guy who just joined the team in December, January, whenever it was, And again, it's something that we don't really talk about with this team. Like those processes, especially with Coach Prime missing the summer with him being gone, and how that kind of slowed a lot of things down. So it's a process, and I think we saw Caden take a big step on Saturday. It's just a matter of taking the next one.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying, and honestly, too, like, a lot of times we hear like there are practice players and there are game players. There are practice plays and there are game plays. There are plays that work in practice against your defense that you're like, you know what, we're going to carry this into our game plan for week 1, week 2, et cetera, et cetera. And sometimes it just might not work. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know that. You won't realize that until the live bullets are flying, until you get to run it against an opponent in a live situation. And I think that's the process that Shurmur and Caden have undergone through the first 6, 7 now games of this season, where they're trying to figure out what works in game with Caden's skill set, in addition to the offensive line, the skill position players, because that's what it comes down to. And that's what a lot of times when, especially in college football and maybe even the NFL sometimes, where you hear a quarterback has been in this system with this offensive coordinator for so-and-so years. Like, think of Haynes King. Like, this is his third year entering that system at Georgia Tech under that offensive coordinator, and you see the results. The opposite is true, too. You know, there are going to be growing pains when the quarterback and the offensive coordinator, play caller, are working together for the first time in their life. Everybody would love for it to be a finished product in week 1 or in week 2, but more times than not, that's just not how it works. And sometimes you might not even get to what you think a finished product should look like, because sometimes it takes a year or 2 years. Obviously, Shurmur and Caden don't have that luxury. They got to figure it out right now. So that's what it seems like they're approaching, getting closer to doing. But like I said, we'll know a lot more next week when we see them back on the road in a hostile environment and see how they respond and kind of build off of what they were able to do last week.
And again, also another thing we don't talk about enough, the transition for Caden from Liberty to Colorado. With Pat Shurmur as a former NFL, head coach, offensive coordinator, as your play caller. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty big jump. I mean, things were pretty simple at Liberty. Maybe it's because Caden was just so dominant at that level, but it's going to be different at this level where, defenses are better, players are faster, and you're going to have to be faster in your decision-making as well. Let's take our first break and shout out our friends over at Game Time. You know what it is already. You have a game going on in your city, a concert, an event, theater, all that good stuff. Hit up our friends at Game Time. It's the time to get to the stadium for football, NFL, and college football. You got some baseball playoffs going on in select cities. NBA is just around the corner, and the NHL has just, I was going to say kick off. Faced off.
It's for the face off.
Does that work?
I don't think so, bro. I don't know.
Anyways, whatever you're trying to do in your city, take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets or any tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use code BUFFS, BUFFS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BUFFS, BUFFS for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time. And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Bet365, man. Y'all already know the deal, man. We are in the midst of the college football season, the NFL season as well. Couple riveting football games last night, particularly one in the D.C. area. So if you want to get in on the action and bet on the Chicago Bears this weekend in a very winnable game, the place to do it is with our friends over at Bet365, man, because that is just...
You can also bet on the Bears to lose at Bet365.
Sure. I mean, if you want to lose money, if you want to hand money away, go do that. Our friends are at Bet365. They would appreciate it. And let me tell you this, though. If the Bears go up by 17 points this weekend against the New Orleans Saints, and you get in the action at Bet365, you will get an instant payout.
On the money
line. They
are
instantly marked as winners on the money line. So download the app. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up, because new customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use that code DNVR365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or even if it loses, they can be used on spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. So whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Shout out to Bet365.
All right, back here on the DNVR Bears show.
It's got a ring to it, kind of.
No, it does not at all. Give it a rest, buddy. Let's shift more so to the defense now. They've been hammered with injuries. They've probably, I don't know, have they been more disappointing to the offense to this point?
Wait, what are you asking me?
The defense.
Have they been more disappointing than the offense? I don't think so at all. I don't feel that way.
Well, some do feel that way.
I'm sure they do.
So here's Coach Rob talking about the defensive improvements, specifically what he saw last week out of this group and why he's very optimistic that this group can fully turn the corner more and eliminate all doubters moving forward.
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, the personal side, I talk about it all the time. I mean, these guys, the results are what they are, but the effort has been there. And then really the part that kind of makes you smirk in the truck on the way home is it was the third time we've really been in that same situation. You know, so it's 21-21 versus TCU 5 minutes ago in the third quarter, right? Obviously, BYU, same situation. And to finish this time, obviously, we've made a huge deal about finishing, and that was something that was very gratifying, as you said. And two guys that work extremely hard. Obviously, Tawfiq coming in. I think our secret is we'll make all DBs wear a club for the rest of the year because we can catch better with one hand than we can with two. And then on fourth down, a guy that has been through a lot here in terms of 88 making the play. You know, 4th and 1, got to have it. You know, that's a huge play. So happy for Amari. Obviously, he's seen the highs and the lows here, so it means a lot.
I mean, the first part of that quote, the effort's been there. And
That's facts.
You have to remember, this group is a group that has faced a lot of injuries in very important positions. Also, a lot of turnover from last year, too. I mean, you lose your defensive leader in Cam. You lose Shilo. You lose Travis. You lose BJ Green. You lose your two linebackers. Like, this is very much a defense trying to learn and adjust on the fly with all the injuries and just everything given to them, whether they asked for it or not this year. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. This defense has really kept you in a lot of games, clearly. But some people are unhappy with the defense, and I think that Rob is he could understand some of that because I think that there's a ceiling, right? And I don't know. I mean, if we did what we did yesterday, put it on 1 to 10 scale as the defense played this year, I'd probably say overall 6.5 at best, maybe. Like, they've really, I mean, they've given them chances to win, clearly, but they've given out at times. And some of that isn't even their own fault, but the effort's there. Clearly, Tawfiq and Amari have impressed Coach Rob as he detailed there, and they made big plays in big spots. So just be a little bit more patient. I swear this defense can do some things.
Because I trust that guy right there that we just heard from, man. I trust him wholeheartedly. And this defense, say what you want about them, they're giving up 23 points a game.
Yep.
You should be able to win football games if your defense is giving up 23 points a game.
Facts.
And every game except for, let's call it the second half of the Houston game, this defense has given this team a chance to win every single week. And even without turnovers, even without sacks. Really, right? Because this team, the sacks, I think, is right near the bottom of the conference. The turnovers are right near the bottom of the conference. They got their first turnover, a massive one, the Tawfiq Byard interception. That was their first takeaway since week 2.
That's insane.
And you mentioned all the injuries and whatnot. That obviously can't be ignored either. And even with all of that, even without the lack of turnovers, even without the lack of sack production, even with the injuries, like I said, this defense has only given up 23 points a game, and they have kept you in every single game. They've kept you in every single game. And that is when, with a rotating list of guys in the secondary, they've yet to really figure out the linebacker. But I think they have been. I think they have figured it out.
I mean, Jeremiah Brown's been kind of a revelation.
It's exactly right. And I think that's another reason for optimism about how this team, this defense could, I think, maybe play better the second half of the year is because I think they've figured out who their guys are. Jeremiah Brown just got to be on the field. Him and Reggie Hughes look like the linebackers, and Sean Myers looks like a really good kind of third option. Up front, London Merritt and Alexander McPherson need to be on the field more than they're not on the field. And Tawfiq Byard has emerged as the heart and soul of this defense. 47 tackles leads the team without even playing really a ton the first 2 weeks of the year. Again, to get his hand x-rayed and get back on the field immediately with the cast on your hand and make that play in that moment against that quarterback and that team, it just speaks to his toughness, his instincts, which is something that Coach Robert Livingston talked about with Tawfiq as well today. He's so instinctual. You're finding out who your guys are. Coach Prime talks about, I need 7-8. I need 7-8 dudes on the field at all time on each side of the ball. I think they're getting closer to that 7-8 number on defense for sure. Obviously, Tawfiq is certainly one of them. So I do think this defense has played well enough to win games, and I still think that they're going to play better in the second half of the year for those reasons I just kind of outlined there.
Totally. I mean, you're going to need them to show up on next Saturday too, of course.
Facts.
You're facing a team who probably runs the ball as good, if not better, than Georgia Tech, who we saw earlier in the year, and it's a very similar play style with Devin Dampierre at quarterback.
It's the number one rushing offense in the Big 12 this year, Utah.
Not surprising.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to ask him to throw like 15 passes. And they're probably going to put the ball in his hands with a chance to take off at least 10 times. Like, you're going to be challenged. And that's a group too up front on the defensive line that's just really struggled. Whether it's injuries, whether it's guys not performing up to what we thought they could before the season. But that's why you got to get these young bulls in there. And we'll get to them here in just a second in Alex and London. But there's a young energy across the board on this defense too. I mean, the cornerbacks are it's trial by fire for them. Makari's a really young player. I know people are really upset with him right now, but as Coach said about DJ earlier today, like, that's just playing corner. You're going to get beat. And we've said that multiple times. Like, it's just a fact of the position. Like, it's going to look bad sometimes. But these guys are learning they're getting the most valuable learning experience you could possibly get. And that's on the field right now. When Tawfiq Byard, as you mentioned, he's clearly showed up and is, been the heartbeat of this team. He's really embodied that shark mentality, that number 7 that he wears on his chest. Thanks. So I think that the best is yet to come for this defense. I mean, I don't know if you'll get a lot of those guys who've been out all year back, but I expect that, Tawfiq Thomas, I think we're going to see him back at some point. He was a really good, impactful player, borderline impactful player for them when he was playing earlier in the season. He was grading out as like one of their best or second best defensive linemen in those games that he played. And plus, if you've ever just heard Tawfiq talk, that edge he brings, that like
Facts.
Coach Sapp type energy,
Definitely.
like we kind of need that on the defensive front again too. So it's a work in progress. And you saw, again, just like the offense, you saw a big step forward on Saturday. And they were shorthanded.
Exactly.
Too. So be patient.
Very much shorthanded. And I wanted to mention this guy yesterday, but I didn't get to it. But it's a good segue to talk about him right now. As we're talking about this defense kind of figuring out who their guys are, the cornerback spot has been a contentious one, right? We know that DJ and Preston are going to be on the field, but that third cornerback, and Lil Rico Baby just put in the chat, is right where I'm going. Ivan Yates played his most snaps as a Colorado Buffalo
Probably
on Saturday. And again, it wasn't pretty all the time. It certainly wasn't perfect. But when you're looking for answers, like how this defense has been looking for answers at that third cornerback spot, Ivan Yates kind of solidified that. Like I said, a season high 53 snaps. So obviously RJ out. Makari still a little bit banged up. Tion, not exactly what this coaching staff was maybe looking for, at least at this point of the year. 5 solo tackles for Ivan, a PBU. He was targeted 4 times. Allowed just 2 catches for 19 yards. That is just something solid, right? You don't need somebody out there to try to make the splash play or, make it get a PBU or get a pick. You would love those things if you can get it, but you just need somebody who's not going to give up the big play, somebody who can play solid and somebody who can just kind of feed off the rest of the guys on that defense. And I thought Ivan kind of put in a tough situation against some really good receivers that Iowa State has. Obviously, a really good quarterback that he was trying to defend. I thought Ivan really stepped up, and he kind of seems like, based on Saturday's performance, like he's going to probably be that guy, that third cornerback moving forward until he proves that he can't be that guy. So hats off to him. Wasn't somebody that I would say a lot of the fan base was expecting to rely upon this season, but his number was called on Saturday. They needed him, and he showed up. So shout out to him.
One more thing about the secondary. Because I feel like there's a lot of negative thoughts about this secondary and how they performed so far. And have they given up some stuff? Sure. People need to stop expecting the secondary to be the Legion of Boom. The 2015 no-fly zone. Like, in terms of statistically, they are 37th in the country in completed passes. They're allowing only 58% of passes against them to be completed. In terms of yards per game, too, they're 64th in the country. Of course, can that be better? But that's in the bottom, or the top half of yards against in the country. There's some talent in the secondary. And
for sure.
Has it played up to snuff all the time? No, of course not. Nope. I think it's very hard for any secondary to play up to snuff all the time. and play at a high level for 12 straight games. I mean, you need a borderline generational player like a
Right.
Travis Hunter to kind of stabilize that and actually carry that through. So I understand why people are upset about a lot of the corners and stuff, but I think a lot of it is also unrealistic. Like Rob said it today too. You can't get upset over every out route that's completed for 7 yards. Like,
Exactly,
it's just
dude.
not feasible. And like,
No.
are they getting just rainbowed over the top with go balls? Like, no. Like they're making plays downfield. Are they getting called for penalties? Yes. Could it be better? Yes. But it's not as bad as everyone thinks it is. I promise you, it's not.
Such is life playing that cornerback position, man.
For Coach Prime too.
Especially when, for Coach Prime, there's brighter lights, shone upon you. And obviously when you play man coverage, as much as this defense likes to play, you're going to be left on an island. It's going to be you and a really talented route runner / receiver in the open field. And the best thing you can do is just not give up a touchdown or not give up a big play. The 7-yard out that you mentioned is not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, as long as you make the tackle soon after the catch is made. And like I said, a lot of people, man, it's like I said, it's just the cornerback spot is one of the most difficult. I put that right behind quarterback.
Absolutely.
Right behind quarterback is the most difficult position to play in football. Because again,
And when you fail it, everyone sees it too.
just like quarterback,
Yep.
exactly right. Everybody sees it. You are on a pedestal, so to speak. So like I said, I think this defense is going to be just fine. Mostly because I believe in that man that we just heard from, Robert
Yep.
Livingston. And I think he's got enough guys who he believes can execute what he wants to get executed.
I mean, okay, Carlton. So look, like it's not like teams are coming out and just going, you know what, bombs away against Colorado every week. We're not facing 45 passing attempts every week. Like,
Yeah.
if the secondary was that bad, then that's what would be happening. I mean, teams would be throwing for 300 plus every single week. They wouldn't be trying to run the ball as much. I just think that a lot of someone said too, it's because our head coach is a Hall of Famer. I'm sure he's probably more upset than anyone. And
For sure.
clearly they have to get better at the position. Like it's just that I think that, a lot of people see this and it's like, oh, this is so disappointing. This is terrible secondary. It's like, they've been fine. They've been fine.
On the list of issues for this Colorado football team this year, secondary is a little bit further down the list.
For sure.
It's certainly not at the top. It's certainly not top 3. So if you want to nitpick it, that's fair. But
Totally.
you don't have to, I don't think, overdo it because this
I don't
is
think
not,
they've lost games because of them.
not. No, I don't think so. You can maybe argue the TCU game late in that one, but
I blame the 3 turnovers on CU. in that
I agree.
game.
I completely agree. But that's what I'm saying, though. That's the only one you can maybe even point
Sure.
to that,
Sure.
like, the secondary really costs this team this year. So we agree.
Let's take our next break and shout out our friends over at Common Spirit Health, where they're more than just hospitals and clinics. It's a team of passionate and expert caregivers dedicated to your well-being, woven into the very fabric of your community. From preventative care to advanced surgical solutions, their skilled physicians and caring staff are here for you, offering personalized treatment tailored to your unique needs. You can expect a blend of cutting-edge technology with a commitment to human kindness at their 20 hospitals and 240 clinics and care sites right here in Colorado. Whether it's a checkup, managing a chronic condition, or responding to an emergency, you can trust Common Spirit to deliver exceptional care close to home. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, a visual healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
And shout out to our great friends over at Taco Bell, man. Listen, if you haven't tried Taco Bell's new Cantina chicken menu, boy, are you in for a treat, man. It's a new era of chicken over at Taco Bell, and it's not your papa's old poultry, man. The Cantina chicken menu has a new flavorful chicken that is slow roasted. It's perfectly seasoned with those Mexican spices, and it comes with some additional premium ingredients like that purple cabbage, those white corn tortilla shells, and that pico de gallo, which is freshly prepared every single day. So try this amazing shredded chicken and the crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out. It's wrapped in a burrito with that cabbage. It's however you like it. But either way, chicken will never be the same at Taco Bell. So get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell. And don't forget to add that $7 Buffs box with 4 Taco Bell classics and a large drink in that CU Buff Player collectible cup. Taco Bell is a proud sponsor of CU Athletics, and they're donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. Buffs love the bell, and we love Taco Bell. So shout out to TB.
Shout out TB. It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Happy Taco Tuesday to all who celebrate. A little bit more on that later. Real quick, though, Stevie has a great point here. You can teach them as much as you want, but if the kids don't perform those teachings, then all you can do is go on the next on the depth chart, then the fans freak out. That's what's happening. Look, there's some talent in that room.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, there's talent in that room.
Yeah.
Is that talent always performing up to expectations? No. Does that mean the coaches aren't doing their jobs? No, it does not. Maybe it's just sometimes hard to get through to a 20, 21, 22-year-old kid who's got a lot of other stuff going on besides football, and they're in college too. That's what's going on, man. And again, the next thing you can do, the only thing you can do is go down the depth chart.
Yep.
So you can get mad at whoever you want, but just know that it might be misdirected because, you can't tell me the coaches aren't out there coaching and trying to teach these guys and put them in position.
And I think that's part of the reason why we saw Ivan Yates get an opportunity on Saturday. They probably see him executing the things that they were teaching in practice, and they're like, well, third cornerback's not getting it done this season.
Yeah.
Let's rotate him in and see who can get it done in the game, right? Because Makari has struggled. Tian Parks has struggled. RJ has been out. And obviously DJ and Preston aren't going to leave the field. So you got to find answers. And like I said, at least temporarily on Saturday, it seems like they found an answer in Ivan Yates.
Yeah.
And it would be frustrating if you thought the secondary, the cornerbacks specifically, were underperforming and they just rolled out the same guys week in and week out. That would be frustrating. But clearly this coaching staff is trying new things and trying different things and different people, different personnel to find out what actually works. So I think that's encouraging because, like I said, the worst thing you can do is just roll out the same thing and seeing the same thing defensively from the same people. Mm-hmm. That gets frustrating. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I don't know if Ivan Yates is going to be that third cornerback moving forward. I don't know about RJ Johnson's status. Hopefully he's able to return after the bye. But I would say that Ivan Yates, man, he took advantage of the opportunity. That's what Jeremiah Brown did.
Sure.
Right? You can say the same thing for a few guys on this team. So that's what football is really all about, man. And like I say all the time, man, growth, development is not linear. Mm-hmm. It is not a straight line. There are bumps and bruises on the road to growth and development. And we'll see what it looks like when you reach your destination.
And some people are just never going to be happy. It's crazy. Next, let's talk about superpowers and superheroes.
Hell yeah.
This defense, they've struggled to generate sacks and turnovers, impact plays, game-changing plays.
Right.
And that's what made them so great last year. You could count on Travis to, make a play on the football, whether it's getting a pick, getting a PBU, or a fumble even in some clutch situations. You could trust Cam in those situations. You could trust BJ, Nakai, all those guys. And while they're still figuring out who those guys are, there is one guy, though, who has emerged, and we'll talk about him on the other side. But here's Coach Rob on turnovers and sacks.
Yeah, the coach speak hat that I guess I probably have to wear is that we're close, and those things come in bunches. If you look at, the Delaware game, I think we hit the guy like 7 times in his quick game. And it's those things. When you have a reputation of playing the defense that we play in terms of blitzing and playing man coverage, well, the ball usually comes out quick. The other side of it is we've got to finish. I think we've probably left 6, 7 sacks out there that everybody can say, where you're a step away from the quarterback. Again, go back to third and 11 versus TCU, it's catch and throw, and Arden Walker's right there, right? So if we do our job, if we hold that window 1 second longer, then that game's different, right? We miss a tackle on that 3rd and 11, they get first down, we lose the game. So really that's what it is. And our superpower's got to be, we've got to turn the ball over, right? This is college football 2025. There's going to be some explosive plays. Does it piss me off? Yeah. Is my hair a lot grayer now than it was when we first started the season? Yeah, it is. But if you can take the ball away, you can win consistently. So that's what we got to do a better job. I got to do a better job preaching it, whether it's second man in, working the strips, or interceptions are interceptions, right? We the vision and break stuff, you should have a chance. The man stuff, it's your ball. You got to have that mindset. So I'm excited to see where they're at. Again, going into last week, lesser teams would have folded. Let's just say the quiet part out loud. And they were in it. We had a great week of practice. Obviously, it starts with Coach Prime. You know, the attitude, the effort, all that stuff are things that he preaches every day. And so I'm excited to see what these next couple weeks hold.
A lot to get into there. I got to start at the last part when he said lesser teams would have fallen apart in that situation. Folded.
Yeah.
When talking about last week against Iowa State.
Yep.
And he's absolutely right. And we've seen this defense kind of fold at times. TCU, I think they folded. Not to any quit or anything. They just gave out. The offense gave the ball away too many times. The defense was on the field for too many plays, and that's what happened. They gave out. But they really dug their heels in. And Tawfiq Byard's pick. We've heard this about sacks and turnovers with this team before. They come in bunches.
Right.
And maybe that's the one to kind of break the levees. And all of a sudden, this team is going to start flying around, getting their hands on the football, getting to the quarterback, and truly making game-changing plays that not only get them off the field, but really help out your offense too.
Man, turnovers are key for this defense, man. It was obviously the biggest play of the game on Saturday, that Tawfiq Byard interception. This defense, we talked about a little bit earlier in the show, this defense has struggled to create turnovers, right? They have 3 interceptions this season, which is second to last in the Big 12. They have 3 fumble recoveries this season. 2 of them came in week 1.
Yeah.
And the second one, I believe, came in the Delaware game, which was the peanut punch from Ben that JB recovered. And to me, that comes back to, in both of those cases, in terms of the Ben peanut punch and the interception by Tawfiq on Saturday, those are effort plays. And that's what Coach Livingston was saying there. He was like, we are not short of effort. And that's how you turn the ball over, right? When you get multiple bodies to the football, to the ball carrier, to get somebody to punch that thing out. Tips and overthrows, getting a hand on the football. And again, being around the football to when a ball is maybe a little short, a bit overthrown, or maybe even tipped, there's multiple bodies, defenders around the football to make a play on that football. And that's what I think this defense has to try to hang its head on this second half of the year. We got to create at least one a game, whether it's a turnover, whether it's a strip sack, whether it's interception, a strip sack, getting it out from a running back. Like that has to be the expectation. You get one a game, because those are momentum flipping, game changing plays that could potentially happen. And the talent is on this defense to do it. Like DJ McKinney had an interception in 3 or 4 games to start this year, dating back to the Alamo Bowl. Preston Hodge has shown the ability to get his hands on football. Like obviously Tawfiq Byard, even with a cast on his hand, can make plays on the football. And I think of Ben, I think of JB, guys who can punch that thing out, as a wise man once said. Punch the thing out. It's got to become the identity, the superpower, to use Coach Livingston words, of this defense, that once a week they're turning the opponent over and they're handing the ball back to Caden Salter in this offense, hopefully with a short field that they can capitalize on.
Totally, man. Totally. You need them. You just need them in this conference with how teams run the ball and how drives can be extended and go 90-plus yards weekly.
For real.
You got to steal possessions. And you got to get teams behind the chains. Who was it that we talked to? I think it's Benny Fowler, who we talked to, and he mentions all the time, like, if you get a sack on a drive, the offensive chances of scoring go down tremendously. I wish I had the actual numbers to talk about it. I'll get them from him and I'll bring them. But and everyone's seen it. I mean, every time you saw Shedeur get sacked last year, it's like, wow, now we're really behind the 8 ball. Now we really got to make something happen. Exactly. So
it's a lot of times that happen. And that's another thing this defense has got to just try to get better at this second half. They have been applying pressure. I think I saw a stat that they're top 10, top 15 in terms of quickest to pressure an opponent, but that hasn't resulted in sack production just yet. And like I said, they're getting around the quarterback. The pressures are there.
So Cam Miller at PFSN, they've been doing great work on college football analytics this season. Fastest time to pressure from FBS defenses in 2025. Number 1 is Clemson, under 3 seconds. Only team under 3 seconds, 2.98 seconds. Then it goes Texas A&M, Utah, CSU, James Madison, Louisville, Michigan, Navy, Texas Tech, Duke, Colorado at 3.2 seconds. Those guys are getting pressure, and they're affecting the quarterback. And that's the other thing with the Big 12 too. It's a lot of, again, running quarterbacks, mobile quarterbks. So a lot of the times when you get into the backfield and you beat that tackle, you beat the lineman across from you, it's not always going to result in a pressure or even a sack at that point, because these guys are very creative. They know how to extend plays and make the defense pay in those situations. That's just, we've seen Caden do that. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time. I really believe that, because the talent is there. I believe in the talent full-heartedly.
No doubt. At least 5 Colorado football players have at least 9 total pressures this season. Arden leads the team with 17. Keaton has 12. London has 11. And McPherson and Amar each have 9 total pressures this season. So the pressure has been applied. And I think we saw Rocco Beck, even though he wasn't sacked, I don't think more than he wasn't sacked once, but there were at least a handful of times where he had to throw the ball quicker than he wanted to. He had to throw the ball a bit more inaccurately than he wanted to. And that's the result of pressure, man. I think once you can get 2-3 in a game, I think that's when you're going to start getting 2-3 a game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And then it's important to play complementary football, to have the offense score off those, to continue applying pressure.
Yeah.
That's just how you play winning football. We have to take another break, then we'll do the last thing from press conferences after this. Shout out to Toyota, man. The vehicle to be in when you come out here to Colorado, just to take in all the beauty. The mountains, getting around downtown out here, getting up to Boulder. You're just going to need a solid, reliable vehicle.
Got it.
Comfortable vehicle, too. You're going to spend a little bit of time driving out here. But trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, they built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado, like the all-new 2025 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2025 Land Cruiser. They also have 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner. They also got plenty of low and zero-emission vehicles, including 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Shout out to the squad over at Breckenridge Brewery, man. They always bring the vibes to our tailgates on game days. Shout out to Doyle in the chat, who we met on Saturday.
Yeah.
Him and his boy. But, shout out to Breckenridge Brewery, man. And shout out to that new West Coast style IPA. It's called the Ridge Runner, man. It's a double dry hop brew inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails, and it just creates those little notes of bright citrus and pine, man. Y'all already know we love our Breck beers here at DNVR, because Breckenridge Brewery is the official craft beer of DNVR. And Breck Brew has a beer for any occasion, and there's just no better way to catch a game than having some Breck Brew nearby. They've been doing it for 33 plus years now, and it all comes down to their love and their passion for making good beer, like that Avalanche Amber Ale or the Mile High City, or my personal favorite, that Fun Slinker, which I just love so much, man. So check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. And shout out to Breckenridge Brewery.
Shout out Breck. Shout out Toyota. Last thing from pressers today. Here's Coach Rob just talking on what Alex and London have brought to the team and what he sees in them.
You forget they're 18. The effort, the attitude, the enthusiasm that they play with it's kind of infectious. They're such a different skill set. London is like, as a young pass rusher, most everybody's upfield and it's up and under and it's kind of running away from the tackle. London wants to take the fight to you, which is rare to be an 18-year-old and your number one pass rush move is obviously speed to power. And then Alex is just kind of the Energizer Bunny, right? The plays he makes on the backside. And as they continue to grow and see some things, they're just going to continue to thrive. And you can build around those guys. And they're the right kind of people, right? I don't know if they've been up here, but you look in their eyes and there's something behind their eyeballs, right? The game means a lot to them, and we're lucky to have them.
Coach Robert Livingston likes to talk about eyes a lot. He said it about Tawfiq today. He's like, I love the look in his eye. Mm-hmm. I know he said it about RJ this spring as well. Yep. And even right there, he was like, if you look them in the eyes, there's something behind those eyeballs.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know, man. That just resonates with me. I love hearing that guy talk, and I love watching London, Merritt, and Alexander McPherson play football, man. Shout out to London for getting his first start last week.
And sack.
And sack, exactly right. I mean, just a ball player, man. Both of those dudes, Coach Livingston said it right there. Like, those are dudes you can build around.
Exactly.
Like, you can build the defense around. Like, yep, these are our cornerstones on defense up front, and we can fill out around them. That's the type of talent these two young men have. So polished, so mature for their young age. I can't believe they're only 18 years old either. I promise you, physically, they don't look 18 years old. You stay next to them, they don't look like no 18-year-old. I wholeheartedly believe that London Merritt is a future NFL player, and Alexander McPherson is not too far behind, if he is behind at all. Those were two massive gets for this recruiting staff, for the future of this program. And I'm just so happy to see that they're getting opportunities as true freshmen, and they're making the most of them. Like, we knew they would.
Perfectly said. They're cornerstones, and they also back up what we hear so much about this team when they and what they want out of true freshmen. They want them to be instant impact type of guys, to come in and play right away. Because let's be honest, this program's still building into what many people want it to be, and you're going to need more freshmen like that, not only to keep on convincing recruits, but as you said and as Coach talked about, to build upon, to be potential dogs or leaders in the next year or two. You know what I mean? Like, to help recruit other players to this program. And the fact that both of them are from IMG as well is massive for the future of this team. So I'm very excited when this team gets back to playing football next weekend to watch those two out there, because they're kind of, there are a lot of people, right? Julian included. You know, you could throw in Draylon and Omarion as well, kind of carrying the torch after Shador and Travis. But the full, like, torch bearers after, you know, these first wave of Coach Prime guys from the first 2 years are gone, it's going to be guys like London and Alex. So you need them to really start emerging even more so. We know they're good players. They're going to be great players in the future. It's just you got to remain patient with that too, as painful as that can be at times. But it's also a lot of fun to just go out there and watch them do their thing.
We talked so much this offseason about that IMG to Colorado pipeline, and to just see all three of them, see Alex, London, absolutely balling. And proving that you can come to Colorado from the prestigious IMG Academy and ball out immediately. And I just can't wait to see who's next, because they're going to get another IMG guy in this 2026 recruiting class. And whoever that is, he is going to be a dog. And it might be more than one guy.
True. That's it from press conferences today. That's it for the week too, actually. We'll hear from Coach Prime on next Tuesday. Week from today, that'll be the next time we hear from the team. Let's do Taco Tuesday real quick. All right, here's another word from our friends at Taco Bell and Taco Tuesday, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Taco Tuesday, baby. Let's go. Yeah. We've got some classics, Jakester. Classics.
Yes, sir.
A go-to, like a supreme beef soft taco. Okay. Which is what I have here, and will be enjoying myself. What you got there?
I got a bean burrito. This is the barometer for Mexican food. The bean and cheese. How well does the bean and cheese perform? Gives me a great measurement of how well I'm measuring the institution.
It's a great call, actually. It's like a cheese pizza at an Italian restaurant, or fried rice at a Chinese restaurant.
Exactly.
Yes. This is good. Just Taco Bell beef just makes me feel the warm and fuzzies inside, you know? That's what I need. I can feel this headache disappearing right now. Wow. Crunchy tacos, whether you guys want me to eat those on camera or not, I will be eating them. This is my lunch, no doubt. And how are you enjoying that?
I mean, this is great. I mean, if you're trying to ball on a budget, the bean and cheese is where it's made.
Sure. Party goes down easy.
Yeah. Gets the job done.
Okay.
Now this is like a role player, very good role player. We have some role players, soft tacos, crunchy tacos.
It's like a solid set.
I've heard a lot of hype about this Mexican pizza.
Yes.
I've never had
who's recording this is a big Mexi pizza fan.
Raised on them, baby.
I tried it yesterday.
Okay.
Very good. You get to try it today while I enjoy it.
Is this fire sauce on the top? What is this on the top?
I forget what the sauce is on top.
Yeah, some salsa, bro.
So I can I'm not doubling down with double fire if I do.
No, you can go.
I mean, it's essential.
I like to try it as is. That's good stuff. I love the crunchiness of it.
No. That is very much a Mexican pizza. It's like a quesadilla pizza almost. Maybe I missed out. I don't know.
You might have. So these are just some classics from Taco Bell on this Taco Tuesday. Can never go around with the classics. Yeah, shout out Taco Bell. We love you, Taco Bell.
Shout out Taco Bell, man.
Pissed I missed out on that, man.
Yeah.
Look fire. Shout out to TB, man. It's Taco Tuesday. Go
Yes,
get you
it
some
is.
TB, man.
All right. A couple more things to talk about here. Let's talk about Shilo. That might be one of the funniest things I've seen that guy do today. Showing up to the Browns game as Shilo Sanders wearing the jersey, the full get up, the sleeves,
chain,
the sleeve, he had the legendary
the
chain.
S2 sweatband on his wrist, bro.
And then the
whole
fans just
fit.
coming up to him thinking that's actually Shador.
Bro,
Oh my
I
God.
watched those videos so many times this morning, and every single time, I think I laughed harder at every time. Like, that man has a true talent.
Yes, he does.
He is so funny, man, and his energy is just so infectious and contagious as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shador can't help but smile and laugh when he's around.
You
it.
never know what he's gonna say next.
Exactly. And like, just think about how much that probably means to Shador. Like, Shador, like, obviously was sat on the sideline the whole game on Sunday. Obviously
Yep.
didn't play. And he comes out and he just sees his brother dressed up in his jersey and his whole get up, just looking crazy and cracking jokes, man. Shilo, man, I hope that his football career isn't over. But if it is, man, he is going to be just fine. And he is going to be just as successful, if not more successful, than if he would have continued playing football, because that man has a true talent of making people laugh and entertaining folks. And man, at this point, Shilo need to go to every Cleveland Browns game.
For sure.
At this point, he just do.
I hope that, like, and I'm sure this isn't how it went, but how funny would it be if Shilo, like, went into Shador's locker, like, as Shador's, like, doing his game stuff, and that's what, like, there should be, like, Shador's like, where's my chain, bro? It goes out, finds Shilo just in all his stuff.
Hey, that boy is so funny, man.
Oh, man, that was great. Go check that out for sure, man.
For
Was
real.
that a well-off, or?
I think that's
that Shilo?
Shiloh's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shiloh's YouTube.
Yeah, go
Go
check
peep
out
that. It's
Shiloh's
hilarious,
YouTube channel.
man.
Last thing, the Big 12 absolutely cooked Brett Venables on Twitter today. Pretty hilarious. So the full context, Brett Venables, not our favorite guy on this show. I don't think many people would say he's a favorite, but anyways, George Stoya, he covers OU for On 3. Has this quote from Brett Venables on playing in the SEC and it being a one-possession league. He goes, "This isn't the old Big 12 days where Oklahoma destroys everybody every single week except one game of the year." Well, Coach Venables coached Oklahoma when they were in the Big 12. And the Big 12 conference quote tweeted that quote and said,
The Big 12 Conference Twitter page.
yes, the yellow check mark on Twitter.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Coach Venables lost 8 conference games in his 2 seasons in the Big 12. Weren't they like a 6-6 team then too?
The nerve of him to say that is absolutely insane.
He's obviously like got something going. He's kind of delusional, if I'm being for real.
Really? And to say that again after you just got
His first year in the Big
schmacked
12,
Texas?
they went 6-7, bro.
It seems like that's what they were doing when he was there and when they were still in the
Yeah.
in the Big 12. It's crazy.
But shout out to the Big 12 Twitter admin for standing on business. That was
Respectfully.
respect the Big 12, man. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah. I agree, man.
I don't know. I kind of hope that I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I do kind of hope Texas Tech sends a message to some teams this year just to put some name on this conference a little bit.
Some respect. Some respect on that name. Hell yeah, I agree.
Let's go to the chat. Andre asks what's going on with Jaheim Otis. I don't have any news there. I don't know.
He's been banged up.
He has, and
that's
look,
for sure.
Again, this is a guy who had 4 off-season surgeries too.
No doubt. I'm just going to check on how much he played, if at all, this past weekend. He played a season low 5 snaps on Saturday. So,
there's not much to say, honestly. He just hasn't performed up to snuff for whatever reason.
yeah,
Shout out to Jaheim, though. I mean, whatever he's going through, I hope he's doing all right.
for sure.
And again, 4 surgeries is no joke. Keith Lynn with the super chat. Hey, Scott, who can you compare to BJ Green on this team right now, and how would you rate them compared to BJ Green?
Well, BJ Green led this team in sacks last year, 7.5. Obviously, was active on the Jacksonville Jaguars roster this weekend. Almost had a pick off of Travis PBU. I don't know. Honestly, the first thing that came to my mind was London Merritt. Keep it a bean. Just a truly talented pass rusher with multiple moves. Robert Livingston said it today. He was like, usually when you're an 18-year-old freshman, your go-to move isn't speed to power.
Right. Yeah, no, that's rare.
It's really rare. Like, that's usually reserved for the OGs, like the Von Millers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're literally pushing back like they're a sled.
Grown men.
Yes.
And London Merritt is 18 years old already with that in his bag. So I think London Merritt is probably already at this moment the most talented pure pass rusher on the team. And to think about him a year from now, 2 years from now, is absolutely scary. Bird mentions that BJ Green's motor was, I know you know about BJ Green's motor. So his motor is high, and I think London has quite a bit of that to his game as well. So I think that'd be my answer to that.
Yeah. I'd say Alex is a pretty high motor player too. They got a lot of, I mean, Keaton's pretty relentless too on the edge. Arden, these guys fight, man. And, you know, Coach Robbie mentioned that in one of the clips today, how Arden was like really close on a 3rd down to making a play that would have got them off the field, I think, against TCU. And then obviously the game went the way it went. But shout out to those edge rushers. The sacks will be, I don't know. How many sacks are we at now? There's
6.
6?
I'll double check that here in a second, but I believe it's 6. No, Colorado has 8. Tied for last in the Big 12 with 4 teams: Iowa State, UCF, and Baylor.
We need at least like 20 in these last few games, and you're going to have some opportunities against West Virginia, I think. Mobile quarterbacks like Avery Johnson, Sam Levitt, too.
Yeah.
Devin Dampierre, of course, too, who I think could give you – chill out there, man. Who could give you some opportunities.
How many times do you think Devin Dampierre's been sacked this year?
3 times?
3 times. 3 times.
Is that what it is?
3 times.
I mean, he's got 2 of the best tackle – he's got the best tackle duo in the country.
Yeah.
Utah, is going to be good all across the board there, and they're going to run the hell out of the football.
For sure. Yeah.
Anything else today, bro?
I don't think so.
All right, chat. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. See y'all then. Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.